Anime without epic fights is like snacks without a cold drink. Something just feels like it's missing, right? But when an anime delivers those unforgettable battles, it's a total jackpot. That adrenaline rush, heart racing, and the suspense of what's gonna happen next. It's exactly what every anime fan lives for. So, in this video, we're diving into 10 legendary anime fights that are so good that you'll want to rewatch them over and over. Let's jump right in. Number 10, King vs. Zoro from One Piece. Zoro's epic showdown with King in One Piece has wrapped up in what might be one of 2023's most stunning anime moments. Episode 1062 isn't just about Zoro defeating Kaido's strong subordinate. It's packed with movie-quality visuals and pacing that fans are calling some of the best in the series. This episode goes beyond the manga, giving more depth to King's backstory, his bond with Kaido, and Zoro's journey. The emotional layers, stylish animation, and powerful music highlight Toei's incredible talent, making this fight a masterpiece as the Wano arc races towards its thrilling conclusion. Number 9, Sukuna vs. Maruaga from Jujutsu Kaisen. Sukuna vs. Maruaga in the Jujutsu Kaisen Shibuya incident arc is one intense fight. Sukuna steps in to save Megumi's life and takes on Maruaga, the wildest Shikigami of the 10 Shadows technique. Sukuna goes all out, barely managing to defeat it. The narrator even drops the bombshell that if he'd been a second slower, Maruaga would have healed and Sukuna would have lost, especially since Yuji was about to take over again. The fight's choreography is fast, intense, and absolutely stunning, earning it the second spot on IMDb's episode rankings. However, some fans felt the animation wasn't as polished as expected from Studio Mappa, despite the series' usual high standards. Number 8, Zenitsu vs. Spider Demon from Demon Slayer. In episode 17 of season 1, Zenitsu goes from a crying mess to an absolute legend in the most Zenitsu way possible. He's sitting in a tree, freaking out about becoming one of the Spider Demon's slaves, when he notices his hair falling out. Naturally, he panics, faints, and falls out of the tree. But instead of face-planting, he lands like a total boss and busts out his thunder-breathing first form, Thunderclap and Flash on repeat. Despite only knowing one move, he remembers his trainer's advice. Zenitsu takes it to the 6th fold and slices the Spider Demon's head off, proving there's a beast hiding under all that screaming and tears. Before we dive further into the video, don't forget to keep your promise. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel to keep this anime journey going strong. Number 7, Aizen vs. Ichigo from Bleach.
Test my powers.
Captain Suzuki Aizen isn't just a villain in Bleach, he's the villain, especially in the Soul Society and Fake Karakura Town arcs. His epic clash with Ichigo? Easily one of the most jaw-dropping fights in the series, maybe even in anime history. Energy blasts, shockwaves, and visuals so intense you're practically glued to your seat. Sure, Ichigo won, but let's be real, it took temporary superpowers and Kisuke Urahara stepping in to seal Aizen away. Normally, Aizen is leagues ahead of Ichigo with his crazy speed, flawless sword skills, and god-tier Kido spells. Oh, and his Shikai? Kyoka Suigetsu. Total cheat code. It's basically hypnosis on steroids. Number 6, Trafalgar Law and Kids vs. Big Mom from One Piece. While Luffy was busy trying to take down Kaido, Law and Kid were plotting to take down Big Mom. These two worst generation pirates didn't just charge in, they actually spent some quality time planning how to deal with her insane power. After analyzing her strengths and weaknesses, they started landing some big hits. But Big Mom wasn't having it. She pulled out her Conqueror's Haki and activated her creepy life or death technique to suck everyone's soul out. But Law and the Kid weren't scared. With one final push, they trapped her with Law's new move and sent her flying with Kid's finishing blow. Big Mom's giant crash was epic, and Ichiro Oda made it official. She's done for. What a moment in One Piece! Number 5. Takamura vs. Hawk from Fighting Spirit. It's not every day that the most iconic fight in an anime doesn't star the main character, but the middleweight championship showdown between Takamura Mamoru and Brian Hawk is a total masterpiece. Now, let's be real, it's definitely not the most realistic fight. These guys are eating punches like they're candy, the referee's counting is slower than a turtle on vacation, and it feels like he's barely doing his job. But who cares about all that? This fight is pure hype! The momentum flips back and forth, and the battle gets so brutal that the winner is basically the guy who just wants it more. It's a wild, crazy, and totally awesome fight. Number 4. Yasuke vs. Toguro from Yu Yu Hakusho. Toguro was basically the ultimate boss fight for Yasuke Urameshi. After breezing through a bunch of enemies like it's no big deal, Toguro comes along and actually knocks him down a peg. Throughout the Dark Tournament, Yasuke faces stronger and stronger opponents, but the real test is saved for last. This fight against Toguro is basically an anime marathon. 4 whole episodes, but it's the moment Yasuke shows he's ready to go all in for the things that matter. The Dark Tournament gave us some great battles, but let's be honest, this final one takes the gold medal for the most intense, jaw-dropping, and downright memorable fight in the whole arc. Number 3. Gilgamesh vs. Shiryu Imaya from Fate. Gilgamesh vs. Shiryu in Fate Unlimited Blade Works is hands down one of the coolest and most beautiful fights in the whole Fate series. Shiryu, who spent most of the show feeling like the underdog thanks to his lack of mana and skills, finally steps up at the perfect time. Meanwhile, Gilgamesh is basically flexing his King of Hero status, thinking he's unbeatable. But surprise, it's that very ego that leads to his downfall. Shiryu's Unlimited Blade Works clashes with Gilgamesh's Gate of Babylon, and despite all the fancy weapons, they're pretty evenly matched. In the end, Shiryu's determination wins him the Holy Grail War. It's an epic battle, but let's be real, it's still got some competition from the big 3 shonen fights. Number 2. Naruto vs. Sasuke from Naruto Shippuden.
Inferno style, Honoi Kazuchi!
So some fans might have hit their limit with all the flashbacks, filler, and plot twists during the 4th Shinobi World War in Naruto, but let's be real. This fight was the epic send-off that the series needed. We all knew Naruto wouldn't be done until he saved his buddy Sasuke, and that meant a battle for the history books. Studio Pierrot totally nailed it, turning the manga's already awesome fight scenes into a jaw-dropping spectacle with sick taijutsu and ninjutsu moves. And those emotional moments between Naruto and Sasuke? Oof, heartstrings pulled. This fight pretty much sums up why Naruto is still one of the greatest shonen series out there. Number 1. Goku vs. Jiren from Dragon Ball Z Super. Goku's fight against Frieza is the defining moment in Dragon Ball Z, but his epic showdown with Jiren in Dragon Ball Super came pretty close to matching that level of awesomeness. These two titans went all out, each trying to save their universe, and it was a wild ride for sure. The battle shook the multiverse, and we got to witness Goku's jaw-dropping transformation into Ultra Instinct. Talk about a game changer! And that's all for today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for hanging out with us.